Okay. All right, let's get going here. You know,
What do you think?
Hola, ¿cómo estás?
What?
Bien.
all right, so this is a place, I gotta speak a little louder so my computer can pick my voice up. So, we're just looking at the interplay between percents and decimals, just really kind of immersing ourselves in the details of percents and seeing the relationship. Make sure you understand the fact that a percent is a number, it's just a fraction, right? So if we say 25%, it also equals the fraction 1/4, it also equals the decimal 0.25. So let's look at some examples. So the first thing I want to do here is write the decimals I'm given as a percent. So what does 0.41 mean, Stephen? Right, so showing our work, we'll say that, well, that is 41 100ths, and since I now have a denominator of 100, I know that that means 41%. Okay? That's what do we do next, Katie? All right, so 0.01, that means what? That means it's 1% because it's 1/100th or 1%. All right? All right. So how about when you say, remember that what does the number 1 equal?
100%.
Equals 100%. So if you have 1, let's first write it as a fraction. So 1.15 is equal to, Curtis?
115 over
Well,
100.
Okay, that's right. Or I was thinking 1 and 15 100ths, but yes, you're right. It equals 115 100ths.
Which
So we will
means
call
that
that
it's 115%.
115%. Any questions on that?
How do they use those percents like in the world, like over?
Right. Anytime something, good question. Anytime something, you can say that, for example, a sports team, if a sports team only won 8 games, let's see, the Cowboys won 8 games last year, I don't think they can win 10 this year, but let's say they could. You would say the Cowboys won, if they won 10 games this year, that would be 125% of the wins they had last year. Because they won all the games they last year and 2 ace more.
Oh, wow.
So that's if they've got the 10 wins, but I don't think they can, they only get the 9. I was trying to make the math work. So 3 max, what do you say, 3?
That would be 300%, so 3.
Yeah, is 3, and the 3 is 3
3 over 1.
is 3 over 1, right? So that's going to make it. So when you multiply by 100 over 100 to get the denominator to be 100, that's where you get this, or 300%. Okay.
300%.
Okay. Now, 0.0079, so let's first express as a fraction.
Point.
So this first expressed as a fraction. So what does this mean? Tens, hundreds, thousands, 10,000s.
79 over 10,000.
I just want to give you the signs, my phone goes off.
All right. Now, if I want to get this, what about the 5 numerator denominator to get it down to a denominator of 100? Well, I divide numerator and denominator by 100 because I want to slide that decimal over twice. So this is going to be 0.79 over 100, right? So it's less than 1%, so it's 0.79%, right? Don't confuse that with 79%. That is this is less than 1% here. Ooh, yes, Maya?
Well, I just did that by moving the decimal 2 spaces.
Right, I know that. I like to see support. I like to see that you understand why. Okay? All right, so now we're going to write the percent as a decimal, right? So again, I like to always show a little support here. So remember, 23% means 23 100ths, which means what?
0.23.
Percent, it's just 0.23. You add a percent sign, now you've changed what the number is.
Does that ever exist, 0.23%?
Sure, absolutely. It's just a very small increase in something, or small decrease. All right, so this would be 246 over 100, right? And so when you divide both the numerator and denominator, get the 100 out of there, right? You're going to have what? 2.46. Yes, sir, Jason.
So if something was 246% off in the store, does that mean they're giving you money?
No, they wouldn't use it, yes, they wouldn't give you, they wouldn't, see, that's one of those that they would never see, right?
Well, yeah, but like,
So-
I'm just saying,
Theoretically.
But you could have a 246 increase in it, like that happens all the time with real estate. Real estate appreciates, if something doubles in value, right, its price is 200% what you paid for it, or 100% increase, right? So things can increase by more than 200%. It's possible for something to decrease unless somehow it becomes negative value. Like you could make an argument, for example, a car that loses all its value, and you have to hire somebody to take it away. I guess you could think of it as having lost more than 100% of its value, but that's kind of a bit of a stretch. All right, so 105.8%, so we make that 105.8 over 100, right? And then we gotta get rid of the 100, so we'll divide numerator and denominator by 100, and we do that, that does slide the decimal 2 places to the left, right? So 1.058,
Over 1.
just, that's all we gotta, yeah, but we don't have to put the total. Make sure that kind of looks a little bit like a comma, but that's a decimal. All right, what about this one? So this is a very small number, right?
That is. That's right.
Yes, go ahead, Max. What's my first guy?
You need to put it over 100.
And how do I get rid of the 100?
You start at 100.
And so what does this become?
0, 0, 0, 7.
3, 7, 3.
Okay,
Thank you.
okay. All right, next page, I'll get the, oh, don't panic, don't panic.
Man, you like,
Don't
you
panic.
like,
It's okay.
yeah! You did that!
My greatest noodles discovery, I'm very excited about this.
Noodles?
Is it ramen?
Chicken flavor? Love me ramen.
Okay, so write the fraction as a percent. Okay, now this one is, I'm thinking, you could do this without a calculator, but it's tough. What do you think?
I have a question. Are we like, decimal and fraction? Can you on that web page?
No, you do fractions and
And this one was, it was different skills. It was, I think I did it last one, didn't I?
That's the last one.
So just make sure your final step is to take it, to write the percentage of decimal, we did that, right? And now we're doing the next skill, write the fraction as a percent, all right? Well, I think we're gonna have to do division here, so on this one, since you can't see it here,
I know it's a little bit over 50.
so it's 19 divided by 30, and what is that? 63. 0.3 repeating percent.
Where's the 63? Oh.
All right. Now this one, I think you could do without a calculator. How could you go from 40 to 100?
Times 2.5.
2.5. So times 2.5 over 2.5, right? So when you multiply 27 by 2.5, so you're going to multiply it by 2. What's that?
That is 4.
54, right? And then when you multiply it by a half, what's half of 27?
That is
13 and a half, right?
13.5. So
So
it's
add those together.
67.5.
So that's 67.5%. Right? Now, this one's clearly above 100%, so it's 1 and 6 over 9, right? And so that is 1 and 1 and
1.3 repeated.
point, no, 0.6 repeated, right?
Oops, I'm not.
What?
1.6 repeating.
Person.
Actually, that's not right. It's gonna be, I'm sorry, remember, 1 is equal to what?
100.
100, and then 0.6 repeating percent, right?
Wait.
No, that's still not right.
Come on.
So,
6.9.
relax, yeah, it's 160,
It's 160.
167%, yes. So how are we gonna know that?
I'm so.
So, relax, remember, this is remember what this is, 100%, right? Remember, 1 equals, sorry, that's,
It's okay.
so I like my answer, it didn't look right. And then you have plus 66.6%. Right, so together that makes 166.6 repeating percent, all right? So remember, you have to remember that 1 equals 100%, and then you have 6 ninths, it should equal 66.6% repeating, or 6 is repeating. Now what's this one? This is 2 and 1/6, right? Now 1/6 is going to be repeating decimal, I believe. One thing I know out here is that 2 is equal to 200%, right? And then 1/6 is equal to what?
16.6 repeating.
16.6 repeating percent, so that's going to mean 216.6 repeating percent, okay?
Yay.
Now, let's see, we have the word problems yet? No, okay. Keep on here. I think I have the word problems copied for this. All right, so with the percent of, so find the percent of the number, so 45% of 18. So, now listen, I don't want to use calculators, please, all right? So the way I would do one like this is kind of combine the percentages. Yeah, what do you
I
want
have
to
an
do?
idea
Yeah.
of what's here. I usually find 10% of 18.
Yeah, a
and then I
couple
go-
ways you can do it, that's a good one.
Which term
We
you
can
put
do
anything?
One wrong.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah.
you can also do a function. Now watch, no, I don't want you to use a calculator, there's no thinking going on there. Remember, you're gonna be at business meeting someday and you wanna be able to do these without calculators. Here's another, I like Maya's idea, but I have another idea, I like Maya's idea a lot. I'll tell you one other tricky way you could do it though, do 50% of 18 and subtract 5%. Okay?
What? I'm
So, do 50% of 18, what's that?
9.
9.
Now, what is 10% of 18?
10% is 1.8. So 5% will be half of that, which is 9.9.
So minus
8.2.
5% of 18, which is 0.9, right? So 9.9 is what?
Can we just?
9.9.
And that's what I'm trying to do is just like give you some thinking skills. You can do these without the calculator, you can do without. I'm just giving you lots of different ways. So why don't you try a different way here, Grace?
So,
Where did I get the 0.9?
I get that.
Yeah.
I was thinking since it's 45%, we need 15 multiplied.
Yeah, I'm just showing you another way.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, you can do it proportionally.
Wait,
We're going to
where
show you
did you get
another
that
way.
8.1 actually?
9 minus 0.9. 9 minus 50% minus 5%.
Minus that.
All right. So do this with 100% of 150, which is what?
150.
Plus 2 times 1% of 150.
1% of 150.
1% of 150 is what?
0.15. So 2 of those.
No, not 0.15, just 1.
That's fine. 2 of those can be 3.
So
So it's
this equals what?
153.
153.
We don't, do we have to do something?
I'm really encouraging you to do it this way, because if you just go the old way, you're not learning a new method, you're not learning this is kind of thinking. method.
How are we able to do this next?
I'll probably tell you, but please learn this method. I mean, this isn't hard, I'm just saying, break it down. The breakdown method.
Oh, break it down.
No, Chris.
See if I can All right.
I saw it. Oh my God. Do it again.
Missed it.
That was a good
I'll
one.
teach you to take your eyes off.
You
Maybe
probably
listen
think
to
that should be.
Yeah, we recorded that.
Just-
Oh, you guys are on
I know it's important, right?
All right. Now, here we go.
Now you're transferring
25%. Now listen, is this 25% of 15 or way less than that?
way less.
All right. Now
You
listen,
dropped my.
we're gonna do
Going crazy.
1/4 of 1% of 300. What's 1% of 300?
God, are you kidding?
3, right? 1/4 of 3 is? 1/4 of 3 is 3/4, right?
Yeah.
7/4 of what?
3.
Hold on.
No, yeah.
Oh, so the answer is 3/4.
3/4 crazy.
3/4.
Hold on, seeing it. Don't make me lose it.
Thanks to everyone. You're gonna lose it.
I don't care.
Now,
It's
this is
3/4, Joe.
This is 0.361% of 500, all right? So, now, here's how we're gonna do this one.
Wait, can I do it?
We're going to do 500% of 0.361. How about that?
Oh my God. Oh.
We're just gonna switch where the percent sign is, that's totally legal.
Well, where's your problem?
We're just gonna do 500%.
Whoa.
We're gonna do 5 times this and add 2 zeros.
You can move them and say.
Yes, let me show you why you can do it. I showed you this last year. I had my feelings on hurt, you forgot.
No, I can show you why.
What? Now watch. Watch this. 14% of 70, let me show you, let me get those in order.
Yeah, you like
Okay,
10 and
12% of 75. Now what, now remember that percent means times 100, right?
Yes.
And of means times. So if I just switch this over here, that's just now 12, or 12 times 75 times 100, what's 75 times, that's 75%, right? So you're just switching
So it's
the 1/100, right?
It's 3/4.
It's 3/4, 3/4 of 12, that's easier than 12% of 75, right? It's the same number. So 12% of 75 is the same as 75% of 12.
Can you do it the other way? So I can, like.
So yeah, so the answer is what, 9, right?
Uh-huh.
So if I do 12% of, so 10% of 75
7.5.
is 7.5, right?
And 1% is 75.
And 1% of 75
0.75.
is 0.75 times 2 is 1.5, right?
No.
So you get 9, right? So,
Yeah.
so what was this? So 5, so I want you to do 5 times 0.361 and then times 100. All right, so
Okay.
whatever that is times 100, that's the answer.
Is it 9?
That's fancy.
All right, now let me
Wait, what's
let me figure it out. Hold on, I gotta grab my sheets. I gotta hear that for you.
I don't even understand this stuff.
Head on, people, it's recording.
Quiet, please.
It's recording.
Hey, somebody hit the pause button on that. Now, don't hit the stop. Anybody want the final answer? Final answer?
The final answer is.
Nobody know exactly what?
We did it, I was for you, I think there's.
Okay, I'll trust you there.
We need one more, sheet, sir.
This should be a
Need one.
This is what we're looking at. These 3 word bonds will be done with this time. You're reading a book that has 560 pages. You have read 11/20 of the book. And what percent of the book have you read? So you don't even have to touch the 560 here, right? You're just gonna take 11/20 and do what?
Turn it into a percent.
Times what?
505.
Good, so 55 over 100,
55%.
5%. So you read 55% of the book. Because the 560, I'm gonna get it up to a, I'm gonna get the 20 up to 100.
Can I read the next one?
Sure.
A bag contains a total of 45 marbles. The bag contains white, yellow, and red marbles. You randomly select one marble from the bag. The probability that you select the red marble is 16%. How many red marbles are in the bag?
So that's 16%. All right. As what? X over 25.
Times 4
So,
divided by 44.
so we can, yes, so we can divide, that's right, it's 5 by 4 there. 5 by 4, and so we're gonna get what?
X equals 4.
X equals 4 red marbles. All right, so the next one, last problem of the day.
In 2002, the
All right,
world's
somebody else. All right,
In 2002, the world population was about,
that's a big number, right?
yeah, a very large number. And in 2002, the population of Europe was about 11.6% of the world's total population. About how many people lived in Europe in 2002?
Let's see what it is with scientific notation. So 11.6 over 100, and who remembers, as X is 2, who remembers how to put this in scientific notation? So, got 3, 6,
9,
9. So
6.2,
6.2, 3, 4, 2, 5 times 10, 9. Okay? So then you're going to multiply 11.6 by that on your calculator. We're definitely going to use calculators here. And then you're going to,
I got
so
it.
this is going to be 100x
72.31.
11.6 times
6.250.
Divide by 100.
Dang it, typed it wrong. 11.6 times 6.
So use scientific notation here.
3, 4, 2, 5,
What are you talking about?
10. Hey,
All we have to do, all we have to do is make that a 7. That's our answer, right? So 11.6 times that times 10 to the 7. That's our answer.
1.588. It's 0.972.
72.
Oh,
I'm gonna leave it.
173. I'm gonna leave.
And this we got to go down verify, so that's your answer. Hey, with scientific notation, remember you're gonna use your E button, which is, it's the blue button above the comma, all right? So we do 11.6 times 6.2. 425, and then hit second E, or second comma, and I put a 7 there, and I'm getting 7, yeah, I'm getting 7. 7.23 times 10 to the,
no.
Oh.
10 to the, times 10 to the 80.
No.
Right, times 10 to the 8 in Europe.
All right,
Was that,